Well, closer to home now, members of an Indigenous First Nation that traces its roots to southern British Columbia are on a mission to bring back a killer whale back to her home waters. 48 years ago, Lolita was taken from Puget Sound. It's now in the Miami Sea aquarium, which vows for the whale's own safety that it isn't going anywhere. Here's the CBC's Greg Rasmussen.
We love Lolita! We're here for you, our sister.
This protest outside the Miami Sea aquarium is the last stop on a long journey. It started when the Lummi First Nation in Washington state carved this pole and displayed it across the country, all part of a fight to release a whale captured in the Salish Sea nearly 5 decades ago.
She's had to perform twice a day for her food, and she's been locked up. The size of the tank to her is the equivalent of a prison cell.
Lolita has spent nearly all of her life in this tank. She was one of dozens captured off British Columbia and Washington state in the 1960s and 70s. Now, only Lolita and one other captured West Coast orca are left alive in captivity.
We're just asking to do the right thing.
The Lummi Nation has an elaborate plan to bring her home. The idea is to move Lolita from Miami to an island in Washington state, just south of the border with BC. A net pen would be built in a sheltered cove, where Lolita would once again swim in the ocean, be trained to hunt, and possibly be released. But the operators of the marine park say releasing her could endanger her life.
Really, they should be ashamed of themselves. They don't care about Lolita. They don't care about her best interests. They don't really care whether she lives or dies.
The debate revolves around what's best for a whale that spent nearly 50 years in a pool.
I think this could be a very cruel and inhumane thing to do.
This UBC professor admires the sentiment to correct past cruelties, but he fears a repeat of the experience with Keiko, made famous by the movie Free Willy. He died within a year of being released.
The window has closed. She's too old. You would never do this to your grandmother. So why would you do this to a whale?
But the Lummi aren't giving up, saying they have the money and the expertise to bring Lolita safely home. Greg Rasmussen, CBC News, Vancouver.
It's estimated that 60 killer whales are being kept in captivity worldwide, 27 of them taken from the wild. There's one orca in captivity in Canada. Kiska is at Marineland in Niagara Falls, Ontario. She was caught in 1979. No killer whales have been captured for display in North America for decades, but the practice continues elsewhere, most notably in Russia and China. Russia has 4 orcas, all caught since 2012. China has at least 15. They were taken from the wild within the last 5 years.